I am so excited that Alyssa is here with Wrenhouse Design today to just have a conversation with us so we can learn a little bit more about her and what she does. And not only is she a Connect Belong member, she also is an incredible interior designer and helped curate this space. So thank you for being here, Alyssa.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I love being in your home.
Oh, you are the sweetest. So tell us a little bit about what we did in here, and then I want to learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So for Tara, what we did for her is our designer for a day service. And so because we are so close and friendly because of Connect Belong, we did a little bit differently, but our designer for a day service is really catered to clients that aren't able to do any of our full service offerings, but still want to have that designer vision for their home. And so really it's catered to whatever you are looking to do. It's up to 2 spaces in your home that we can talk about, or we can go visit showrooms. And so that's what we did with you, is we went and we personally went shopping together, which is always so fun.
So fun.
We were on a tight time frame, which I think is the funniest part about when we tell this story, is we were in and out of HomeGoods in like 20 minutes.
Literally. Yep.
Yeah. And so we like buzzed around, and luckily we found a bunch of great pieces, but then brought them back here and I helped her set things up. We were able to kind of curate a vision for this space. And so you were able to purchase things on your own time frame. Your husband and your kids helped build the things to put together, but really it helped bring the space together. She's got such tall ceilings in here, and I think that was one thing that you expressed having difficulties with. And so we really tried to ground the space and make the ceilings not feel so tall and make it more intimate and cozy. And so yeah, that's what we kind of did with our designer for a day service here for you.
And I will put up some pictures of what it looked like before and after, because we have things on the sides now. Yes. We did already have our fireplace existing, but otherwise we only kept our couch. So everything else is new in here. So I can't wait to show you that. Now that we're sitting down and getting a little cozy in the chairs that Alyssa picked out for me, I would love to know a little bit more about your design business and just what makes you so special.
Yeah, so I started Wrenhouse Design back in, August or September of 2024. And it kind of just, after 7 years of being in the industry, it just kind of felt like it was time. But Wrenhouse Design is a full service interior design boutique firm. I'm here in Queen Creek, but we service everybody around the valley. So I have a ton of projects in North Scottsdale and Phoenix right now. So our work brings us everywhere, even out of state. But we do full service, mainly focused on new builds, custom home, spec builds. But we also do large scale renovations and furnishing and styling for our clients. So usually those services kind of go hand in hand. So whenever we are doing new builds and custom homes, new construction, it kind of ties into the furnishing and styling of everything, which is kind of, I think, every designer's favorite part about our job and what we do. But that's kind of what we do on our day-to-day basis. And then anything else, we do, I have so many different mentorships that I do with students from the college I graduated from, which is NAU. So I have those sprinkled in as well. So I kind of just do a little bit of everything.
I love that. No, you are so knowledgeable. And I can speak firsthand because I've been in a few of the houses that you've designed, and we're going to one tomorrow. Yes. So excited. What you create is such a cohesive look that just really shows the personalities of the clients, even though I have not met any of your clients, but when I step into these spaces, they're all so different, yet so beautiful because of obviously your expertise and just what you have thoughtfully put into the spaces. So that's really cool to see.
Well, I hope you get to meet our wonderful clients tomorrow, because I think they should be there. But yeah, every designer has a design aesthetic, and ours I like to deem Western organic modern.
Okay.
Because we are inspired by the desert and our landscape that we are in. Also, I'm just a big believer of natural materials and textures and things like that. I think you experienced that a little bit in your home when we were talking, and trying to ground our spaces and make them feel really warm and inviting is really important to me. I want spaces to feel like they are giving you a big hug and they're inviting and like you can see yourself living there. And so our design aesthetic and our style is what it is, and we try to bring that into every project, but we kind of go with the flow of what our clients want. And right now I have a lot of desert contemporary homes, which are not my favorite, I would say, to design, but it's what our clients want. And so, like I said, we bring kind of our design aesthetic into everything that we do. So whether, they want clean lines and that modern approach, but we're still bringing in natural stones or textures in a modern way. So that way it still feels like us. Yeah. And I think that's what you're kind of experiencing through the homes that you've been in, because you've been in 4 of them now, and tomorrow will be 5, but they all feel a little bit different. And that is a representation of, like you said, our clients. And I think you can still feel that it feels like us through the materials that we select and our approach to design.
And I definitely noticed that the cohesive theme across all of them, although they're very different, is just the warmth in things. And it's not meaning that you're only using brown or tans. It just is the warmth of the feel of it.
Yes. And, we do love browns and we do love tans in a different way than like the 90s version. If people are buying homes these days, they're like, I have to redo everything because it's all brown. And that's, again, like a lot of our homes are inspired by the desert and our landscape. And so even with the outside of our homes, a lot of them are some shade of brown because it blends in with the desert, and that's what HOAs like. But there is a way to do it nowadays that is modernizing the brown. Even with textures, we see right now a lot of Venetian plaster coming back around, which, I mean, that was something used way back in the day, and it's kind of rejuvenated back over time, but it's making its way back because we're doing it in such a different way now, or in a new application, and we're putting it on ceilings or whatever it is, and we're just reinventing that wheel, but we're embracing it in a different way or a different hue and a color tone, and that it feels modern, it feels new, and we're really embracing those warm tones again.
I love that. It makes it so pretty and just something different, because we went through the phases of gray, all black and white, all gray, and all the things. So now it's like, I love the combo of the two and just creating warmth using the finishes and just the way that you're curating things. So that's really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
And you mentioned just homes that are maybe needing remodel. You did say that you do those. Is that something that you are currently working on, or are you preferring the custom home builds that are from the ground up, or do you do a little bit of both?
Our focus is mainly on new builds, spec builds, custom homes. That's where we thrive. And I think that's where we're allowed to be fully creative, and we get full trust from our clients in that space. And because I've been doing this for almost a decade now, and I've experienced just doing remodels. When it comes to remodeling a home, when someone's already lived in that space and they're currently living in that space, it feels so much more personal when trying to go through this experience. And oftentimes people are more closed off to design ideas, and they already know how that space functions, and they're like, I don't know. They're quicker to shoot things down, right? Where when you're designing a new space, it's a concept they haven't even grasped their head around, because a lot of clients aren't even visuals, so we have to bring all that to them. So remodels bring a level of complexity and challenge, not only in the design part of everything, but also in the construction part of everything. You don't know fully what your capabilities are until you start tearing things down, and even things you've talked about and planned about sometimes can't happen because of the existing structure of your home. So you have to pivot and rework those things, and it just becomes a little bit more challenging. So if we are doing remodels, it's more of a full scale. We aren't taking on just a bathroom or a kitchen, but we are happy to kind of reinvent a whole home and space for somebody if that's what they're looking for.
I love that. Thank you for explaining more of that. And I wanted to ask you, for me personally, I thought any design service or any interior designer would be out of reach, whether that was out of reach financially or just the investment. And also, I just thought that interior designers only work with homes that are 10 million plus or whatever it is. So if that is false, could you debunk that myth and tell me who interior design is for?
Yes. So interior design is a luxury service. So we will start there. It feels out of reach for a lot of people. I'll say that there are designers for everybody because there are so many great designers in the Valley. And what's great about, the women that I've met with that are, own their own companies too, is that it's not this competitive thing, because we all have different personalities, we all have different design aesthetics, we're all looking to achieve and do different things, and so there's work for everybody. And so with that, you can find a younger designer starting out that their fee is a lot less than somebody that's been doing it for a decade plus, or that only takes on those custom homes that are $10 million plus, because there are tiers to the type of designer that you're looking for, right? And so it can be accessible to everyone if you find the right person that fits for you. But that's also why we kind of made the Designer for a Day service, is because we want our people in our community to feel like they can have a semblance of working with a designer, so they can better understand what a designer brings to the table. So although Designer for a Day is its own service, we're hoping that sometimes that translates to more after they realize what working with a designer brings to the table, and that they understand that it's not just picking out throw pillows and putting stuff on a table. There's so much complexity to being a designer and designing a home. The amount of decisions that you have to make are endless. And I don't think people realize that until they're in the thick of it and we're sitting down and I'm asking them a million questions. And they're like, I have lost interest in this because we've been talking for an hour about baseboards and transitions. And, so although, interior design is a luxury service, depending on the designer you choose and do your research on, there might be somebody that could fit for anybody out there, depending on where they're at in their career.
Oh, I love that. And even you saying the decisions, I was just furnishing this space, and the amount of decisions, I'm like, whatever you say, okay, sure.
Which we love that. We love someone that's just like, whatever you want to do. And I'm like, perfect, thank you so much.
You have the vision, so let's just create it. Even on the side of my fireplace here, I'm like, should we have exactly the same thing? I've seen people do different things, and you said the symmetry would really ground the space, and that's what I really wanted, was a grounding, warm space. So
what I've learned too is that clients care a lot about symmetry.
Interesting.
There's some areas where you can't have symmetry based on the bones of the space, like whether you have a built-in on one side of a fireplace and a hallway on the other. Then you have to bring balance to that, and that's the challenge of those two areas being different. But usually clients always want symmetry, and I like symmetry too. I want it to feel symmetrical in some way. It doesn't mean the lamps need to be the same, but there should be a lamp, so it's really curating that to feel intentional. And that's where that eye from a designer comes in, just to really bring the full vision together, and having you be so open to ideas. And sometimes people are just like you, where they're like, I literally don't know what to do with my space. But you were like, it's been like this for so long, and it's just felt so empty, and I want it to feel this way, but I don't know how to get there. And that's where we just really, I already knew you, and who lived in your home, and what was important to you, and even the service is so great because it's at your pace. And even our e-design service is like that. It's we can put together digitally selections for you, and then you purchase things on your own time and your budget when it allows you. And that's what's so beautiful about this experience with you, was that you still have young boys, and they're rowdy and crazy and they're jumping on things, or they might spill or whatever. So you're like, our sofa really needs to stay. Is it what I really want? No, but it works for your family. And that's what's super important for me, and why our whole slogan is Styled for Living, is because your phase of life is, I have young boys, and we're just not at the phase where we can have a white sofa, or I have a dog and they sit on the furniture, whatever it is. That's just not the phase of life you're in right now. And although you would love to have those things, it just doesn't make sense for the way you're living. And so
this was the compromise, having these chairs, and I'm like, boys, don't sit in
don't
these.
Touch.
These are not for kids. Adults only.
You also love to cuddle your boys, and you can't cuddle in these.
No,
so,
it's true. They're more for looks. That's okay.
Absolutely.
They're comfortable though.
Yeah, they are.
No, I love that so much. And you mentioned something that's so important to us. Obviously, this is Connect Belong. We are all about community, and I love that the designers in the space that you're in, so many of them are just all about, let's come together, let's talk, let's hang out, let's be together. And even with our Connect Belong in-person events, there have been 4 or 5 designers here, and I love that you that's your little corner
Yes.
over there. You all
We talk
huddle
shop all the
together.
time.
I love it. And just being able to create that community. And what has that meant for you? Like, what difference has that made for you?
Yeah, I haven't had that until recently. I've worked at so many different places where you might have an employee or two where you connect with, but to have so many other entrepreneurs and women that are doing the same thing, that reach out, and that we get together almost on a monthly basis.
I love that.
And there's like so many groups of designers, like I said, like everybody's at a different price point of clientele or busyness in their lives or whatever it is. But the group that I've been lucky enough to be with and a part of, we get together about once a month and we just chit chat and we catch up. And, you know, sometimes we talk shop, like who are you working with and how's that going? And what's your billing structure like? And what's worked for you and what hasn't worked for you? Because, you know, we're all out here, a lot of us don't have employees and it's just us and we're still trial by error and we're just doing things the best we can. So really we're learning from each other.
I love that.
And yeah, it like I said, there's no feeling of competition there because there is so much work and our designs aesthetics are so different. Our personalities are so different. And so a lot of times, you know, we have the same people reaching out to us online, whether that's, you know, for supportive service like renderings or people in college looking for internships or whatever, and it's like they send you a portfolio and you're like, oh, you're not my design aesthetic, but like I know who you'd fit, like let me like send you that way, you know. So really it's I think we're trying to build each other up and let everybody know that like we can be friends. We don't need to feel like we have to be competitive. And, you know, this industry is so fun for so many reasons, but there is a lot of networking and design events and traveling things to do for markets and things like that. And a lot of times we're like, let's all go together or let's do this. Or are you going to be here at this? Just so we can see each other and catch up, because it is so important to have that sense of community, even in this space that feels, I mean, it is luxury and it feels like so not out of touch, but like it just feels like this world where a lot of people don't even feel like it could be a career. We're just down to earth people, just
I love that.
loving what we do and trying to help clients feel at home in the spaces that they're living in.
And it's so nice to know that if, like you said, if somebody comes to you and the aesthetic is so different, you probably know somebody that it could align with, and to support one another in that way and open doors where maybe they wouldn't have thought could be an option for them is really cool. I love that you guys all support each other, and it's so
why
cool
not?
to see everybody together. I know, I agree with you. I know we're on the same page. Yes. No, I love that. And I'm so happy that you've been able to be a part of our community, even with all the different people here. And again, there are a few interior designers here as well, and some are just starting out. Some have been in business for 10 years like you have, and all different things. So it's just really cool to see everyone come together. And like you said, it's not only just your industry or my industry or whatever it may be that we're like, oh, I have these issues. Does anyone else have this? Or is this happening? Or this challenge has been really difficult. How can we work together? So
it translates really cool. between the different fields of career. But I mean, even in Connect Belong, everything, like it's not even just designers, other designers. There's been trade representatives and, you know, people that do storage solutions or organization, tile representatives, window treatments, like all these people are supportive of our business and we need in our business to do our job. And so I've made those connections, or even photographers.
I love it. Yes,
you know,
it's so
like there's like
so
somebody
many
out there, or realtors, and like it just, every little facet, it kind of applies or ties in, bookkeepers, you know, all the things. Like it's just, I mean, even the caterer, I'm like, do my like 1 year birthday cake, please. Like, you know, so it's, there's just so much to being a part of these groups, and it supports everybody's business in some kind of way, which I love. And, you know, we are able to support one another and come together and just be happy to see each other every month. And it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, I love that. And I'm so happy you're a part of it. You are wonderful.
Thank you.
And that's exactly what the goal is and what I want it to be, for you to connect with other people, for other people to connect with you, whether that is online or in person. If you're in Queen Creek, please come. We have a monthly meetup each month.
Trying to wrangle all the people.
I know,
like,
right?
Come now.
Over. Wherever you are, just fly here. Especially, it's February now, whenever you're watching this, but it's snowing everywhere else. We're going to be 82 today, although we have long sleeves on. It's just for show. So here we are. No, we're going to be sweating in a little bit. So I thank you so much, Alyssa, for talking with me, and thank you for this beautiful space. I'm so excited, and hopefully we'll just keep moving along the house and can do some more. But
Absolutely.
thank you so much. And if people want to find you, where do you hang out and where can we find you?
Yes, so our website is wrenhousedesigns.com. Wren is with the W. On Instagram, we're wrenhouse.interiors. And that's kind of where we live. That's where our daily updates are.
Okay.
Weekly posts, things like that behind the scenes. It's all kind of there. So that's where you can find us.
Awesome. Take a look in the description and you can see Alyssa's Instagram right there and the website. And please reach out if you are in need of any interior design. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.